Most internet users in China have probably had the unpleasant experience of not being able to use Tencent's WeChat Pay when buying things on Alibaba's e-commerce marketplaces Taobao and Tmall. Or on the other hand, finding they cannot open web links from other internet companies on Tencent's messaging apps.
It's not convenient, only if there are things that I really have to see, where I copy-paste the link. Otherwise, I just don't bother.
I never open links that I have to copy.
I've run into links blocks on QQ many times, asking me to copy a link and open it in a web browser. Unless it's important, I just don't do it.
This cross-platform link blocking that the internet platform giants have employed for so long has not only caused trouble for the many users of multiple platforms, but has also meant a lot of trouble for the multi-channel network companies that support e-commerce live streamers. This Shanghai-based online celebrity firm now has 70% of its live streams on Douyin, with the rest having to be split up among other platforms like Taobao and Red. That has had its costs.
Each platform is independent and each has its own industrial chain and scale of business. They've created their own e-commerce environment. For example, at first Douyin allowed access to Tmall stores, but then the platform set up its own private traffic operation connected to its own app. So we haven't been encouraging merchants to operate across platforms because it increased the cost of customer acquisition.
Now, a more transparent internet environment is on the way. China's Ministry of Industry and Information Technology last week issued instructions that all instant messaging platforms must remove their web page address blocking functions as of last Friday. The Ministry of Industry and Information Technology says it will be doing more in terms of guidance, supervision, and law enforcement. It also says it would take actions against companies that have not come into compliance so as to correct violations. The aim is to build a more secure and standardized internet environment. That will mean some changes in the way China's e-commerce works and in the ways merchants will have to respond.
Previously, the cost per thousand for customer acquisition could reach 200 yuan, easily 80. But with a free information flow, people have a more free shopping environment, which cuts merchants' costs for customer acquisition. It's definitely good news, but it could present challenges to merchants looking for an operation mode and content that can fit multiple platforms. For example, Tmall and JD.com are pure e-commerce platforms, so merchants on those platforms should focus more on products and prices. But platforms like Douyin, Red, and Kuaishou focus more on content. Merchants need to know how to tell stories that have an emotional resonance with buyers. Operation companies should have a comprehensive capability for doing so.
The big internet companies are now coming into compliance with the new regulations. Last Friday, WeChat released a statement saying that users will be able to have access to web links from other platforms from the app's upgraded version. But as the way the internet companies work is changing, the way they work to serve their clients and their viewers is changing too.
The business models might change, like we said. So it's going to be from an advertisement-based business model into more of a transactional-based business model. That's first of all. Second of all, I think possibly you would see precision marketing, because now you have all the links that can flow between platforms. All the different platforms can collect user data from other different sources, so they can combine all platforms' data into one. That is good for the company, but on the other hand, it might be a concern for user privacy. So these platforms might need to enhance their capabilities in this aspect.
Analysts expect that to prevent fraudsters and spreaders of illegal and spam information from taking advantage of the reforms to infiltrate the platforms that they have coveted for so long, regulations will be further strengthened to clarify rights and responsibilities regarding data and improving the technology to intercept fraudulent or malicious information.